We've got a pretty supportive gay and lesbian community in this city. I did want to ask you about something you wrote a couple of years ago. You said if I had a gay son, I would think I'd.
Oh, look, another. I'm saying to you, the swamp, you guys, the swamp.
You become a champion, you become a star, and some would say.
Let me ask you something. Are you gay?
Have you had the chance
No,
to interact with a more diverse?
Are you? Let me know. Are you gay?
Can I get an answer?
Well, no, I'm asking. This is a part of. Are you a gay man?
I'm an ally of the community.
Okay. If you had a son and he was like, you had a son, he was gay, you'd be like, oh man, you don't want a grandkid?
No problem with it.
Oh man, well, dude, you're a weak fucking man, dude. You're part of the fucking problem. You elected Justin Trudeau, like, with you fucking when he sees the bank accounts, like, you're just fucking pathetic. And the fact that you have no fucking backbone, and has he shut down your fucking country and seized bank accounts? You ask me some stupid shit like that, go fuck yourself.
What's going on, everyone? Socks with Kenny here today, and woo! I think textbook way of handling mainstream media. So this is, I think, I forgot his name already, but I just know he's a UFC star. It seems like he's in Canada because this is a Canadian reporter that was talking to him about this stuff. And I always find it funny when these people say, "Oh, I'm an ally of that community," and it comes across like a busybody, don't it? In a little way, like, okay, this doesn't personally offend you, but you want to speak in defense of that, and you have problems of someone's worldview about certain topics and issues. And this is my problem with a lot of people who claim to be liberals. They claim that they don't want to make people believe in things that they don't have to believe, right? They're like, oh, I believe that you could believe whatever you want and I could believe whatever I want. When it comes to certain issues, liberals are very authoritarian. This is a passive way of being authoritarian. Hey, I don't condone what you said. I don't condone your opinions here, right? You have a major platform. I want you to preach what I believe to be true. Now, if a religious person took the same outlook, hey, you said some concerning things about Christians, Christianity, you speak in favor of atheism, which is a hateful group. Will you in the future rectify these comments that you made in the past about religious communities? Everyone would be outraged. Hey, like, this atheist is allowed to believe that there's no God. He's not disrespecting you. He's not putting any blasphemy against you. And it's the same concept that liberals practice today, that if you have any opinion that is unfavorable towards the rainbow brigade or the rainbow bullies, as some people on TikTok would like to call it, they consider it the same as blasphemy. You can't say anything negative about someone of the rainbow brigade. And this is a reality that's been highlighted very distinctly in our culture today. But this is what happens when you have a culture that is lost without any meaning, without any sense of purpose, right? Where they think tolerance is submission. Tolerance is not submission. Tolerance is you can accept that someone has a negative view about your lifestyle and accept their right to express it. That is real tolerance. Not this fake tolerance that we got going on right here, which is a passive way of being authoritarian, which is liberals' specialty. But I digress. Let's continue with the interview. I show you the first 50 seconds and we'll watch the rest together. Let's take a look.
Fuck yourself. Move the fuck on, man.
I feel like that doesn't really answer the question, but I did want to ask also things you said about the trans community. You said this past October when they announced the Bud Light sponsorship that you'd go so hard on Bud Light in your next fight, they'll have to accept me or denounce me when they know what and will know what they stand for.
This guy's like, nah, this Canadian's not that Canadian.
Are you still going to use your fight time to kind of speak on that?
Here's the thing about Bud Light. 10 years ago, to be trans was a mental fucking illness. And now all of a sudden, people like you have fucking weaseled your way into the world. You are an infection. You are the definition of weakness. Everything that is wrong with the world is because of fucking you. And the best thing is the world's not buying it. The world's not buying your fucking bullshit you're fucking peddling. The world is not saying, you know what? You're right. Fucking chicks have dicks. The world's not saying that. The world's saying, no, there are two genders. I don't want my kids being taught about, who they could fuck in school. I don't want my kids being taught about, their sexual preference. Like, dude, this guy is the fucking enemy. You want to look at the fucking enemy to our world? It's that motherfucker right there asking these stupid fucking questions.
We've got a pretty supportive gay and lesbian community.
Yeah, that's... I couldn't say it perfectly myself. And that's real tolerance. To disagree with everything that man said and allow him to express it. That's real tolerance. Tolerance isn't, oh no, we need to shut him down. We need to censor him. We need to prevent him from speaking out against our worldview. That's not tolerance. right? It always seems like we have this liberal worldview, and he's right. There's a lot of weak people that tolerate being canceled, that tolerate their voices being besmirched or downplayed, and they're not willing to stand up for what they really believe in, right? But you have these people, like, for instance, I have a question. Secular people who don't believe in religion or anything, religious told us that there's only two genders because that's how the creator created us. He programmed us to only be two genders. That's it. Everything else is like an anomaly, an exception, a defect, an abomination, if I'm using the biblical terms. So, atheists, how can you believe that, hey, things that's in the only things that's here is the only thing that exists, but at the same time, you're accepting of the trans community? Wouldn't the atheist community be the most transphobic community? Because they only believe in the material. They only believe in things that are observable and true. So if you go to a man and he say, I'm a woman, you're going to go, oh, yeah, you're crazy. You're not a woman. Language it has a function. Language is used to describe what you observe in reality, right? So how can an atheist claim that, oh, I don't believe in a man in the sky, but you can believe a man can be a woman, when that's immaterially an asinine thing to say? And I don't know if I'm having a religious awakening. I don't know what's going on, but the more I'm exposed to all this stuff, all this weakness, the more I understand, this is why you need to be principled. This is why you need things outside of government to uphold your values. Because atheists, and this is where I come to the conclusion, secular people only respect power. Power is morality to us, a religious people. Because think about it. Secular people only follow the law because there's a consequence for breaking them. But if I said there was no consequences for breaking any of the laws, our society will be in chaos. Voltaire agrees with me. I want my woman to be religious. I want my lawyer to be religious, so that way he doesn't scam me and my wife doesn't cheat on me. Voltaire, prominent atheist thinker, he said that. And it goes to show that we have not removed morality. When you remove religion, you're just merely replacing one set of values for another, right? And I had more to go with this story, right? This is the kind of reporting that Canada has. Almost 66% of Canadians say the U.S. democracy can't survive another Trump term. This is where y'all messed up, Canada. We're not a democracy. We are a republic, representative government. Right? Just because there's more people in California and there's little people in Vermont, if they vote to, hey, which state should we annihilate with nuclear bombs? California will always survive every single time because they have more people. How is that a fair system? Representative government is, hey, Vermont, we want you to decide what you want to do with your resources. So everyone in Vermont gets to vote on this. And in California, y'all not allowed to vote on this. That's not democracy. That's a republic, representative government. But they want to sit here and pretend that we're in a democracy. We're not. This is why we have the electoral college. This is why we don't vote people based on popular vote. If someone said, hey, all the water comes from Georgia, and California said, hey, we need water, and Georgia said, no, this is our water. Oh, let's vote on it. California is going to win. It's tyranny of the majority. This is why democracy don't work. We're a constitutional republic. Canada, y'all already messed up right there. And another reason why these reporters from Canada are woke, a lot of them are publicly funded in Canada, right? Say publicly funded through the parliamentary appropriations that is voted upon by all members of the parliament. Its editorial independence is protected by the law in the Broadcasting Act. Well, one of the things I'll say is that you can't claim that there's no influence of that. Hey, if you say something the government don't like, you may not have you may not get $1.2 billion. Imagine that. You get $1.2 billion from the government. You don't think that will help their bottom line? You crazy as hell if you want me to sit back and think that you're giving me objective journalism not based in the government. This explains a lot about liberal media. But I digress. In Canada, here's another post I want to kind of highlight. Nothing scares them more than critical thinking. And I believe that's the kind of channel that I want. I want a channel about critical thinking. Now they're putting out articles, Washington Post, New York Times, the usual suspects. Why doing your own research may end up being a bad thing, right? Why doing your own research may make you believe in fake news. And my only argument to all these people who are saying that, oh, don't go down the rabbit hole, don't do your own research, just trust us, the authorities. My question to you is, can authorities be wrong about something? The answer is yes, because authorities are human like we are. They're fallible like we are. They're not ordained by some special being to be all knowing about a subject or field. They're just a little bit more qualified than we are. Their knowledge is a little bit more specified than ours. And if you agree with that argument, if you agree with my position, then doing your own research is a necessity, even if it's at the risk of learning bad information. Because the only way you can counter bad information is by providing good one. Not to sit here and pretend that you're the arbiter of truth and that because you're seen as a person of authority that everyone's supposed to listen to you. That's a very misguided and a very elitist way of thinking about things, right? And then here's a post that kind of highlights why Canada, y'all need to worry about your own place than to worry about what's going on outside your own country. Because right now, as an American, I'm not worrying about what's going on in your country. I'm not worried about what's going on in everyone else's country. I'm worried about what the hell's going on in my country. Because my country, I know my country's flaws. I know what my country needs to fix. But Canadians, they seem to worry about everything else but their own country. Like the guy in the intro said, y'all got truckers getting their bank accounts frozen because they protest the government. You got people here with assisted suicide. I want to play this video, but it has copyrighted music.
Hi, I'm
Right. So she's talking about like how the government takes 58% of your hard-earned money, including book royalties that were made in the U.S. How's that fair? All the fun, your healthcare system, your ineffective healthcare system, where if people break a leg, they gotta wait a month to be seen by a doctor because of they're so overrun with people because they want to take advantage of the free healthcare. They get less quality treatment. If they want expedient and efficient treatment, they have to go to the U.S. to get it. Canada's worrying about an economic downturn, especially if the U.S. Growth fades. That's how dependent Canada is on the U.S. But they're sitting here worried about our democracy. No, you're worried about our republic. At least get it straight if you want to criticize where we're trending towards. They're worried about us becoming far right. But look at you. You guys are becoming far left. You guys are damn near ran by a dictator named Justin Trudeau, to the point where they're trying to censor Jordan Peterson because he used social media in a way that they don't like. So they create some arbitrary rule and say, hey, you need retraining or else you lose your license. How is that not an authoritarian government? I don't understand. But Canadians will come here and try to defend this ish. And that's what we're talking about. There is weakness in this culture. There's this weakness in Western civilization. And I think it's time for people to have courage and stand up to this stuff. Vote these people out. But I digress. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you agree with the UFC star, or do you agree with the reporter that we have to be empathetic and accepting of all people? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.